How do I think the world would be if 1% of the world's population was complaint-free?
I had no idea how often I complained, had negative thoughts, started to talk about somebody. So the number of times that I would have to stop and change hands was really a wake-up call for me.
I thought it was a good idea. It was something new that I hadn't heard about, and I thought it was something that would help our community, and felt that the city council would be accepted of it, and thought it was a very good idea.
I discovered the program 2 summers ago. It was a very long summer in Arizona. My children were running out of things to do. They were fighting. I found myself complaining and yelling a lot, and this was supposed to be a fun time for us, a downtime. I was online, and I was on Amazon, and I saw A Complaint-Free World.
When she first gave me the book, it was more so just like busy work to me. I kind of looked at the book and was like, oh, one more book to actually have to buy and read and whatnot. And as you can see, I still have mine, so most of them I return and whatnot. So at the end of the day, I think that I took this class for a reason, and that reason was to meet her so I could get this book.
New Year's Day, I woke up and said it's time for a new start in my business. So trying to find a paint store open on New Year's Day wasn't easy, but I did, and I purchased a gallon of purple paint, went up to the salon, taped it off, and painted the break room purple and embossed the words, A Complaint-Free World. The following day, as employees started to arrive in the salon, I handed each one a copy of a CD and the book and a purple bracelet, explaining that they now work in a complaint-free world. And as their employer and as a partner on this team, I would no longer be allowed to listen to anybody complain to me or to the front desk or to any other team member.
I started the program myself in September, and by middle of October, I think I was at 2 or 3 days by that point. So I knew it was going to be difficult. I wanted my staff to understand that before introducing it to the students.
So I decided I would do it as a New Year's resolution and present it to the kids in January when we came back after Christmas. And they were very enthusiastic and excited, and they couldn't wait to get started on it.
He went to his rabbi to basically get a clean slate and he said, I feel terrible. I've been talking about people. I've been gossiping. And the rabbi said, I want you to go into the village and get a pillow, a nice feather pillow, and take it to the top of the mountain. I want you to cut it open and release all the feathers. And so he did. He said, that's it? He said, yeah, that's it. Yeah, I can do that. And so he came back and he said to the rabbi, I did this. And he said, okay, now I would like you to go back to the top of the mountain and I would like you to collect all the feathers. And the man said, I can't do that. That's impossible. There's no way I can do that. And the rabbi said, that's right. He said, and your words are just like the feathers. Once you've released them, there's no way you can take them back.
One of the most common questions I'm asked is, what is a complaint? Well, the dictionary defines complain as to express grief, pain, or discontent. To express grief, pain, or discontent. The thing is, most people complain as a matter of course and have absolutely no awareness of the fact that they're doing it. Now, we are expressing our complaints. We speak them aloud, and you would think that we would be aware of them. The thing is that most people complain 15 to 30 times a day and have absolutely no awareness that they're doing it. The complaints are coming out of their mouths. You would think that they would hear them, but they don't. I like to say complaining is like bad breath. You notice it when it comes out of somebody else's mouth, but not so much when it comes out of your own. Now, being a complaint-free person doesn't mean you just shut up and suck up whatever the world sends your way. It's about practicing healthy communication skills. If you have an issue with someone, you speak directly and only to that person. In fact, being a complaint-free person means you speak directly and only to the person who can affect the change that you seek. A while back, I was staying at a hotel in Denver, Colorado, and it's considered to be one of the finest hotels in Denver. It's a 5-star, 4-diamond hotel. I got there and I went to my room, and changed clothes and went for a walk around the city, and then I went to the gym and worked out and came back to the room, and I was in and out of the room several times. Later that night, about 8 o'clock, I came back to the room and I heard this noise on the other side of the wall in my hotel. And the noise went, whoom, squeak, whoom, squeak, whoom, squeak. What it was I was staying on the 5th story of this hotel, and the building next door to us was 5 stories tall. And there was an exhaust fan on top of the building next door that needed lubricating. And it was rusty. And so it would spin around, whoom, and then hit a rusty part of the frame. Squeak, whoom, squeak. You probably wonder what me, being the no complaint person, did. I went downstairs and talked to the people at the front desk. I spoke directly and only to the person who could resolve the issue. Now, in the past, I would have done something else. I would have called my wife. And I would have said, can you believe this? Finest hotel in Denver, my eye. Oh, I'll stay in the room. I'll stay here just to show them and to make myself a victim. So it's not complaining if you speak directly and only to the person who can effect the change that you seek. In his wonderful book, A New Heaven and a New Earth, Eckhart Tolle says, it is not complaining to tell the waiter that your soup is cold and needs to be heated up, if you stick to the facts, which are always neutral. How dare you serve me cold soup? Now that's complaining. I grew up in the southeastern United States, in South Carolina. And in the South, we are famous for our hospitality. We are nice to everybody. Well, it's easy to be nice to everybody if you're not telling them the truth. Oftentimes we would go out to dinner and my mother would be sitting there with us, and the waiter would come along and say, how's your meal? And my mother would look up and she'd say, oh, it's just fine. It's just fine. And as soon as the waiter would walk away, my mother would turn to me and say, you know, I ordered sweet tea and this is unsweet. Or she'd say, I ordered my steak medium and this is about burnt. I'd say, Mom, do I look like I'm wearing a waiter uniform? She needed to tell the waiter this. There is nothing inhospitable. There's nothing rude. There is nothing complaining about speaking directly and only to somebody who can effect the change that you seek. If you stick to the facts, which are always neutral.